Hello and welcome to Castar Reviews. I'm Adam Castar, and our dive into the Halo series continues today with Halo 3. Halo 3 wraps up what is known as the Halo Trilogy, and the last Halo game involving Master Chief that Bungie would go on to develop. It's Master Chief's first appearance on the Xbox 360 and considered by many to be the best Halo game ever made. Like I said in my Combat Evolved review, my first Halo game was this game's sequel, and the next game I'm looking at, Halo 3 ODST. Growing up smack in the middle of the Xbox 360 and OG Xbox era, Halo's immense popularity meant that I could never escape my friends talking about Halo 3, which is weird since we were about 10 when Halo 3 came out. Way to go, oblivious parenting. Sticking once again to the Master Chief collection, I no longer have to worry about choosing between remastered and original visuals and sound. Everything is as it was back in 2007, for better or worse. Let's see if this game passes the age test like its predecessor, or if it has dated mechanics that hold it back from being the Halo game of choice. Alright, let's begin as we always do with the plot. Halo 3 begins about 2 weeks after the cliffhanger ending of Halo 2. Master Chief crash lands on Earth and is found by Sergeant Major Johnson and the Arbiter. Johnson notices the Chief doesn't have Cortana with him, and Chief then explains at least part of the ending of Halo 2.
Where is she, Chief? Where's Cortana?
Don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it.
She stayed behind.
They then go to the extraction point for evac, where the Pelicans that were supposed to pick them up are shot down by Banshees. Johnson's squad was captured by a group of brutes, and after being rescued by Master Chief and the Arbiter, they then travel to Crow's Nest, a UNSC base of operations. So remember how 343 Guilty Spark told Miranda Keyes about remote activating the Halo rings at the end of Halo 2? There's a Forerunner artifact known as the Ark on Earth, and it's the key to activating all of the Halo rings and destroying all sentient life in the galaxy. The Covenant have enacted a full-scale invasion of Earth, since Truth wants to find the Ark so he can activate all of the Halo rings for the Covenant. The UNSC plans for Master Chief to disable the Covenant's anti-air forces so the UNSC can initiate an airstrike on the Ark. The Covenant discovers the Crow's Nest and invades. Master Chief then activates a bomb to detonate Crow's Nest after it's evacuated. Chief then regroups with some Marines and head to the city of Voi in Kenya by way of Savo Highway. Master Chief fulfills his part of the plan by taking out Covenant anti-air units and even a Scarab, and the UNSC proceeds with the airstrike. Then Truth activates the artifact, which then opens up a massive slip space portal that the Covenant flees into. In addition to that, another ship comes through the portal, a Covenant cruiser, carrying the Flood. Fucking terrific. The elites, who have now fully broken away from the Covenant, arrive just in the nick of time to help you fight off the Flood infection, but it still infects a lot of people and aliens alike. The elites inform Commander Keyes that Cortana is aboard the Flood-infested ship. Master Chief retrieves Cortana, and while Guilty Spark tries to repair her, it turns out it was only a recorded message.
Let it play.
But it doesn't know about the portal, where it leads. On the other side, there's a solution, a way to stop the Flood, without firing the remaining Halo rings.
Master Chief, the Arbiter, and their respective factions go through the portal to the Ark, and make their way to its map room with the help of Guilty Spark. They find out that they need to deactivate 3 shield generators to even reach the control room, so Master Chief and the Arbiter each take 1 generator, while Johnson and his squad take the 3rd. Our protagonists get the job done pretty easily, but Johnson then radios Keyes saying that he can't get in. Master Chief and the Arbiter lend a helping hand, but now they can't find Johnson. Also, to make matters even worse, High Charity crashes in from the portal and it's filled to the brim with Flood. Chief and the Arbiter fight through the Flood to get to the control room, and Truth is there with Johnson, who he needs to activate all of the Halo rings. Then Keyes crashes in through the window in her Pelican and fights off some brutes. She plans to kill herself and Johnson so Truth can't activate the rings, but she hesitates and is killed by Truth. Truth then forces Johnson to activate the Ark, but there is still time. Once Chief and the Arbiter get to the control room, they are confronted by 2 Flood combat forms controlled by the Gravemind, which propose a temporary alliance to stop the Ark's activation. The Flood helps them fight through the last remaining Covenant forces, and they rescue Johnson and halt the activation. Truth is then infected by the Flood and gets the piss taken out of his entire religion by the Gravemind for good measure.
I shall become a god! You will be food, nothing more.
The Arbiter then gets revenge on Truth with his energy sword, and since the Gravemind got what he wanted, and knows the Chief and Arbiter want to destroy the Flood as well, he turns on them. The two, along with Johnson, escape the control room. Master Chief finds out by way of hallucination that the Ark is building a replacement ring for Installation 4. He decides that he's going to activate this ring, but Cortana still has the activation index from Halo 1, so he decides to go back to High Charity, which is still overrun by the Flood by the way, to finally get Cortana back. which he does, in a heartfelt reunion.
Just keep your head down. There's 2 of us in here now, remember?
The Halo Combat Evolved callbacks don't end there. Trust me. Chief overloads the engines of High Charity and blows it up, with the Arbiter Johnson and himself making it out in a miraculously functional Pelican. Even though the Grave Mine has been destroyed, Chief and Cortana still need to activate the partially complete ring. They fight through the flood to the control room of this installation, known as Installation 8. They discovered that the Grave Mine is trying to reconstruct itself on this installation, and rush to attempt to fire the ring. Johnson is about to fire the ring, but Guilty Spark then has the realization that firing it will destroy it, so he shoots Johnson with a laser, mortally wounding him. Master Chief then destroys Guilty Spark with a Spartan laser, and then tries to tend to Johnson's wounds, but Johnson won't let him.
I'm getting you out of here.
No, you're not. Don't let her go. Don't ever let her go. Send me out with a bang.
After fulfilling Johnson's dying wish, Chief and the Arbiter escape to the UNSC frigate Forward Unto Dawn on a Warthog. The Arbiter and Cortana take the reins of the ship. It makes it halfway through the portal until the portal closes off, leaving Cortana and Chief drifting off in space in half a ship. Back on Earth, the UNSC is holding a memorial service for those who lost their lives in the Human Covenant War. After that, we cut back to the Forward Unto Dawn, where Chief and Cortana realize that they didn't make it to Earth. Then Master Chief goes into cryosleep until Halo 4. Wow, what a way to end your game trilogy. Literally, Halo 3 ties it all together from the beginning of Halo 1. Even one of the mission chapters references it. But I do have a complaint with the story. I had this question at the end of Halo 2 as well, but I thought that activating the Halo rings was an instantaneous thing, a point of no return. In Halo 2, Tartarus activates Installation 5 and his boss fight's about 5 minutes of in-game time. He stops it, which triggers the failsafe. Okay, that's a little believable. But in Halo 3, when Truth activates the Arc, he's all the way down a long hallway that is overrun with the Flood and the Covenant. I don't believe that Master Chief and the Arbiter were able to go all the way down that hallway and deactivate the ring before it fired. It may be a nitpick, but it seems convoluted when the game pulls a whole "the villain has won but not really" scenario not once but twice. You might as well have Tartarus and Truth die before they activated the rings, instead of a hard-to-believe last-minute scenario. Aside from that, the story is still well put together and adds a new and interesting storytelling element with the humans and elites teaming up. But I stress that you should not start with this game if you're in it for the story, because you will get nothing that is going on. Halo 3 requires investment in the previous plots, but you should always start at the beginning of a trilogy anyway. The comedic tone was toned down a bit for this game, which is honestly fine because Johnson and Cortana still keep their personalities intact. Also, soldiers in your squad talk amongst themselves during missions, which is a really cool touch. With that, let's move on to the presentation. I gotta say, Halo 2's new CG cutscenes spoiled me because I missed them already. We're back to in-engine cutscenes, which are all well and good, but some of the downgrades from going back to the 360 era are pretty noticeable on the faces. Lord Hood and Miranda Keyes get the worst in my opinion. The voice acting is top-notch as always, with everyone reprising their roles. The sound design is classic Halo through and through, with all the sound effects from the original Halo 2 making a return. As far as the soundtrack is concerned, I slightly prefer Halo 2's remix soundtrack, but that doesn't mean Halo 3's music is bad by any means. The level design has seen a lot more variety than the OG Xbox era, with little to no copying and pasting rooms. Except for the ending with the Warthog, that seemed like it should have ended 10 minutes later than it actually did. The environments are great as well, and they really emphasize verticality, which plays into how the levels are structured. All in all, Bungie has found a rhythm for designing Halo games, which is great news for people who are tired of the grey hallways of Halo 1 and the copy-pasta rooms of Halo 2. But has the gameplay made a significant stride along with the graphics? Let's find out. Halo 3 continues to build on the basic gameplay foundation that was set in Halo 1 and built further upon in Halo 2. Dual wielding has returned, but now you can't dual wield the Needler. The assault rifle is back, further pushing the SMG out of prominence, although you can't dual wield it, so I guess that's the trade-off. Halo 3 also offers some new guns to use, courtesy of the Brutes. First we have the Spiker, whose name really should be switched to the Needler. It seems like the Spiker's projectiles are needles, and the Needler's ammo looks like spikes. There's also the Marauder, which is basically a pistol-shotgun hybrid. The Flamethrower makes its first campaign appearance, and of course the Spartan Laser, highly impractical yet effective. There are also two new grenade types, the Spike Grenade, which sticks to things like the Plasma Grenade but has more vertical explosions, and the Incendiary Grenade, which of course sets things on fire. Another new addition to combat is the ability to rip off mounted guns and take them with you, which is great for crowd control. There's also a new mechanic called Equipment. Think of it like power-ups, but both you and the Covenant can make use of it. Equipment can range from active camouflage, gas that restores health, and a sizable shield that protects you from enemy fire. The difference between equipment and the power-ups you would find in Halo 1 is that you can activate these on command rather than just automatically having them in Halo 1. Now you can strategically plan out tactics to easily get through levels. The difficulty is back here as well, but it's definitely not as bad here as in Halo 2. The flutter's still annoying, sure, but Jackal snipers no longer kill you in 2 hits, and the equipment system definitely mitigates a lot of the problems I had previously. An interesting quirk with the local co-op is that instead of being a clone of Master Chief, the second player plays as the Arbiter where applicable. There are no Arbiter missions in this game, so if you enjoy playing as the Arbiter, this is the only way to do it. But the active camouflage you naturally had is gone. This seems like a good segue to go onto the online multiplayer. It's more of the same, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But one feature they added is Forge mode, where you can make your own custom game modes with whatever objects you want in the Halo universe. You heard of Super Mario Maker? This is Super Halo Maker. This adds a ton of longevity to Halo's multiplayer, but you can't make campaign levels sadly. I would love to do that. Halo 3's multiplayer has grown on me a little bit. There are game modes for whatever you're in the mood for, and it is way more fun with friends, although I won't be making Halo esports anytime soon. Being the end of a galaxy-spanning trilogy, does Halo 3 end it on a high note? Most definitely. The story simultaneously provides closure while leaving the franchise open for more stories involving Master Chief and Cortana. I'd say that out of the first 3 Halo games, Halo 3 is the best one. Story nitpicks aside, the gameplay is excellent. Forge mode is tons of fun along with the multiplayer. The next game we'll be looking at is Halo 3 ODST, which takes place in between Halos 2 and 3. Please subscribe for more reviews and follow me on Twitter for production updates. See you soon.